What's going on, YouTube? It's Coffee back at it, man. And peep it, is Suge Knight just at it again, right? Suge's known to say some wild, sometimes outlandish things, make claims with nothing to really back it up at times. Just, I don't know. Y'all ever seen them old interviews? He used to look high as a bitch. Like, I ain't talking about smoking weed. Like, he was on some other ish, just talking out of his arse. But I think possibly he may be onto something here. And I want to know if y'all believe him, if you think this is facts or fiction, man. As we see this Diddy situation playing out, he's locked up, no bail, facing federal indictment. And, questions have been coming up about the Diddy parties, where these freak off parties where all this disturbing actual ish was going on, and just a typical Diddy party, two different things. You know what I mean? I saw a party promoter the other day going to bat saying, yo, I'm not defending Diddy. I'm saying Diddy changed the game with the parties and getting, not the freak off parties, just parties, that were being promoted and helping getting artists booked and making good money and taking the hip hop to places it had never been before, where certain clubs and venues wouldn't even want hip hop getting in the door. Diddy changed the game and did that. And, a lot of the stuff that is seen in modern day hip hop, party wise, and just different things that are done at venues were inspired by Diddy. And the dude was saying, yo, fuck him. If he did all this illegal, sick, twisted ish, he should pay for it. But you can't take away what he did as far as changing the game when it came to hip hop. And what's going on with Diddy, isn't the same as with hip hop. There's a lot of narratives about that going on as well. Like, this could be the end of hip hop and this, that, and the third. It's like, nah, not what one dude did or allegedly did, on some sick, twisted, deviant type ish. That doesn't coincide with everything with hip hop, the art form, the movement, the culture, etc. So with all those things being said, there's all these questions about where all this, alleged twisted deviant activity went down. Was it way, in the cut behind closed doors? Who was there? Who really knew of this stuff and, was complicit with it, or helped cover it up, or took part in it, or what? You know what I mean? Because with certain ish, man, you can't just turn a blind eye and act like you ain't see it, man. When things get took to a certain level, especially on some sick, twisted, deviant ish, if you don't say nothing, if you don't do nothing, you become a part of it in a sense. Comment and let me know if you agree with that or not, And something else that I want to point out, right, is we know that hurt people hurt people. That's a fact, man. A cycle of sick, twisted abuse has been going on for the longest time. Billy Joel voice. And, it's a fact. People carry out their trauma and deal with it in different ways. And some people, traumatize others. And with that being said, the hurt people thing, like, that doesn't make it okay for people to be sick deviants and traumatize others in the way that they were traumatized. What I'm getting at is, yes, hurt people, but the cycle has to be broken. You know what I mean? Like, if you were hurt in some fucked up way, you got to deal with it. You got to be better than the demons that, were on demon time with you. And, maybe spread awareness or just do something different, break the cycle, right? Like, you don't have to become a monster just because a monster did what they did to you. And that's what it's seeming like with Diddy. As there's a lot of talks for, you can dig into a lot of the old stuff in the crates and see, the way Diddy got in the game with Andre Harrell, Clive Davis, the relationships that it seems that he had with these dudes. And this is just more than just theories of people trying to spin narratives. Like, there was some sick shit going on, man. And, Diddy seemingly, became a monster, right? Was victimized or groomed or whatever it was. And when it came down to it, rather than him dealing with his pain and his trauma and deciding to be a better person, he became a monster and carried out these monstrous acts, is what it's seeming like. And what I'm getting at with what Suge Knight is talking about, again, he's known to shoot off his mouth and talk some wild things, but it seems, I don't know, it's up in the air again. I want to know if y'all believe what Suge is saying or not. He's claiming there's a lot of individuals that seen this ish going on and knew about it and didn't do a damn thing. Check it out, man. Y'all see the headlines. Suge Knight claims Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, and other industry people were privy to Diddy's alleged criminal activity. The former Death Row Records CEO named Russell Simmons, who we know Russell, it ran to the other side of the world and has been hiding, facing the music with allegations against him of raping multiple women. Comment what you think about that. Some people say he ran because he's guilty. Some people say he ran because he knew he wouldn't get a fair shake in court. I want to know what you think. Clive Davis, again, that's someone we know Diddy had a weird ass relationship with. Jimmy Iovine, Interscope Records, and more, right? And listen, Suge Knight did a lot of heinous things, beating motherfuckers down, trying to run his company like the mob. But I don't know if I've ever heard of rapist type allegations against him. I mean, we've heard of him beating a motherfucker down and making him drink urine, like on some ruthless bully type ish, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, have we ever heard those kind of sick, twisted allegations against Suge? But check it out, man. It says, with this ex trafficking arrest, they're saying there's a witch hunt going on in the music industry. And, basically fans and celebs and people within the media are talking about what we're talking about now. Who knew about all this stuff? You know what I mean? And that's why we really got to dig into this all and find out what's fact or fiction, or fact check things or whatever. Because in the blogosphere, a lot of bullshit gets spread. You know what I mean? But check it out, man. He went on to speak with Chris Cuomo of News Nation. Check out what he said. He says he does not jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison. You know what I mean? He acknowledged that some people do deserve to serve their time in prison for their crimes. It's not always the answer, and it can cause difficulties for people with kids and families. So that being said, we see Suge Knight doing his time in prison. I wonder if Suge feels he should be in there or not. That was a crazy case as well, man. Like I thought there could be a chance that Suge might have maybe beat the case, or just would have a better shake trying to claim, like self-defense or whatever. Because at the end of the day, there was audio and stuff like that of Bone flat out saying, yo, I pressed Suge, I beat his ass, he ran from me, he wanted no smoke. You know what I'm saying? More or less putting it out there that he kicked off all the drama that had Suge running up out of there like a bat out of hell. And then, running over two people, one of them being Bone, who survived. And obviously, R.I.P. Terry Carter, he was the other one that didn't survive. But check it out. It goes on to talk about what we're talking about, you know what I mean, with grooming and, hurt people. He says, facts is there. Where we at now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay-Z, I don't care if it's Snoop Dogg, I don't care if it's The Game, who we know Game and Diddy, very, very close relationship, you know what I mean? He ran real tough with Diddy for a couple years, Some people was even saying he was Diddy's private dancer, and a lot of people, just ask Spider Local, tell you The Game was very, adamant, like, yo, if things don't work out over here, I could get some kind of deal or something like that with Diddy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't care if it's Snoop. I don't care if it's The Game. I don't care if it's Dr. Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on. So you see him naming all those people, kind of like hinting that he believes all these individuals. He didn't flat out say it, but it sounds like he was saying that they, knew what it was, right? It says Suge Knight also directed his energy at some major powers within the music industry, some of who have their own skeletons, such as Russell Simmons, Clive Davis, and Jimmy Iovine. And he's saying Diddy was taught this behavior by people before him. So Diddy was groomed, hurt people. But again, that's no excuse to become the monster that victimized you, that traumatized you. You know what I'm saying? To go out and take that kind of trauma, put that kind of trauma on other people and traumatize others. Like, that's some bullish. That's demon activity. Hurt people, but you gotta break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? And I say that looking at the situation with Diddy, but just also when we're talking about real life. Like, I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to that, man. There's demons that have been out here victimizing, hurting people, grooming people and things like that for so many years. And it's sick. It turns my stomach, but it's just the reality. You know what I mean? But again, he's saying Diddy was taught this behavior by people before him. And, that goes on to bring up this interview here from Gene Deal, which we're going to roll with in a second. We know he did security for Diddy. He was involved in, Bad Boy Records heavily. He's seen a lot. And, it has a lot of people questioning why Gene Deal didn't speak up in the past. Comment and let me know what y'all think about that. But before we get to that clip, he says you got to realize he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clive Davis. When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, this is heavy into beating women. This is from the Gene Deal clip. My bad, this part ain't Suge Knight. But let's roll this clip and see what y'all think about it all.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clive Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bro, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're going to ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in homie Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself.
So there you heard him, man, breaking it all down. And again, what do you guys think about all the stuff Gene Deal's saying? You heard him. He won't even say alleged. He said he's seen a whole dude in the bikini thing, man, and all that. Pause, right? And I don't know, like, Gene Deal seems very credible to me. I just don't understand why he didn't speak up. Or for those that have followed everything Gene Deal's talked about since he's been around in the blogosphere, did he talk about that more? You know what I mean? Did he try to speak up and he was silenced? Like, comment and share your thoughts, but flat out, you heard what he's talking about, man. This is sick, deviant demons grooming individuals. And again, that's no excuse for someone to become that monster. We all are on our own journey. We got free will. You know what I mean? And you got to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? Treat people righteously and don't be a sick, evil, deviant demon. You know what I mean? Don't become the monster that may have done something to you. I know I sound like a broken record. Hurt people, that's a fact. But break the cycle and don't be a monster. Don't be a demon. Be a righteous, loving, you know, cool vibe, good vibes type individual. Like, there's a lot of sick, twisted ish going on these days, which there always has been. But when it comes to this blogosphere ish and just the way things are, man, you know, it's like, it's easier than ever. There's more ways than ever for one to lose their soul out here. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about mental conditioning and all that. But you hear him talking about this is like the greatest tragedy. You hear him mentioning Tupac and Big, and it's so wild with the Keefe D, Tupac case going on at the same damn time as this Diddy situation playing out simultaneously. Is so wild, man. But there you have it, man. Suge Knight, you know, speaking up about something that a lot of people have been speaking on lately regarding all this. You know, who really knew what Diddy was up to? Who seen what Diddy was doing? Who was complicit in staying quiet, or even worse, participating in the demonic activities? You know what I mean? Let's talk about it all in the comments. But that's a fact, man. You follow Diddy's, story. You go back and look at the Uptown Records, Andre Harrell, the Clive Davis ish, and all that, man. This isn't just narratives people are spinning. There's really some sick, twisted shit there, and that's just big facts, man. So with that being said, I'm going to close this video out. Let's talk about it in the comments. Make sure to hit them buttons and sub up for me. Is Suge Knight keeping it real, or is he just talking out of his arse? Let's touch on everything across the board. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's Coffee signing out, y'all. Peace. God bless. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? Stay demon free. Watch for those monsters. And, be better than the person before you. Don't let your trauma define you. Don't let it make you a monster, like how Diddy became the monster. You know what I'm saying? That groomed him and showed him the ropes. He didn't say, yo, this is sick, twisted, and fucked up. He seemed to jump in head first, feet first, whatever, and just carry on those activities on a whole nother level, man. This shit is nuts. I'm up out of here. Look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. I'm gone. Peace.